Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. I am the Crypto Crow, and today we're going to do a comparison between Dash and Cardano. Many of you might know Dash. It's been around quite a while, since 2014, and has been one of the most popular masternode projects in the cryptocurrency space. Originally a fork of Litecoin, which hasn't fared too well. But we're going to look over some numbers, and we're going to get an idea as to what might be more beneficial between Dash and Cardano. And I will preface this by saying I had no idea before I decided to do the video. I'm doing this video to just basically share the results of my own curiosity. So enjoy the ride, and we'll be right back after this brief disclaimer.
If it's bull or bear, I don't care. It's quite a rough ride, just like life. But I'm kind of patient, 'cause only time will tell.
So welcome. I actually started this. I started this whole thing. Oh, and you'll notice that my arm is green. I'm connected differently. I'm being rebuilt. I'm achieving my goal of becoming an internet of bodies. That no, I donated blood today, and I still have my green wrap around my arms. So, all right. So the first thing we're going to do in this comparison, because I don't really want this to be a super long video, I just want it to be more informational, educational, if you will. Looking at the Dash price right now, it's already a little lower than it was when I just completed a lot of these calculations and things, but this will give a decent understanding, an idea as to what might be expected when either running a Dash masternode or just staking Cardano, for that matter. A quick yawn for good measure. Again, yawning probably because of my blood donation. I just had somebody in Twitter actually message me, asking me, not really asking me anything, but telling me he could tell what my blood type was based off of the things I've said in my channel, and he was right. And I was like, that's kind of creepy, dude. But anyway, he seems cool. He's just trying to share some tips. So anyway, looking at Dash, it's currently trading at $33.92 as it continues to go down. I have officially closed my short, by the way. I closed it at like $100 in profit. And it's sitting, wow, even lower. So I made a little chunk of money. What did I make? I made $80. I watched it go down to like almost 200 in profit. I'm like, I'm gonna let it ride. And I'm like, well, I'm in profit. I want to close it. So yeah, I've been doing pretty well on BitGet, and just kind of having fun with it. I've been trapped in a short for like, I don't know. I don't remember when I opened it. It's been close to a week, and I opened it somewhere around 16,000 something. So anyway, yeah, and there's a link in the description below for BitGet. They are my sponsor for the month of November, my birthday month. I actually turn 45 tomorrow, if you can believe that. Well, today, because I'm going to schedule this video for tomorrow. So happy birthday to me. But anyway, so looking at Dash, you know, the price action has been pretty sluggish, to be quite frank, since its original all-time high back in 2017 of, I think it was somewhere around $1,400. No, it was about $1,283. And then looking at the most recent peak, which was substantially less than its original peak, it only hit about 460. For whatever reason, CoinMarketCap isn't showing it very accurately, but it was around $465 per Dash token. But the thing of it is too, is that Litecoin didn't do very well. So Litecoin, while, you know, in 2017 into 2018, it did pretty good, pretty solid. Crashed with the rest of the market. And then it had similar price to Dash Coin. So the sentiment there is not one of, oh, it's gonna 10x or 100x by next cycle. It's just, I don't see it as likely. And if anything, I can actually see this underperforming yet again. So keep that in mind as we continue to go through this. Cardano, on the other hand, currently trading at 29 cents, likely to go lower. If you've seen any of my predictions recently over last week, I could see Cardano hitting somewhere around 14 cents as a low of this cycle. But the difference is it's almost the polar opposite of Dash. In other words, last peak it peaked up somewhere around $1.33, and then in the most recent peak it was about $3.14, something to that effect. So its peaks went 3x while Dash has been getting cut into thirds. So just keep that in mind as we move forward. And I'm flashing a lot of this stuff to kind of show you where I've been getting some of the information and things before I switch over to the calculations and the graphics. But this is masternodes.online, and this is a pretty good resource to kind of show you, roughly what your daily, monthly income, annual income would be. I don't care about the dollar value in this example. I've only cared about how much of each token you're going to get, your token. So that being said, looking at a rough annual ROI of around 5.8, 5.6%. And you're receiving these rewards in Dash tokens, but the price action hasn't been that solid. So, and one of the reasons why I did this is because I've been thinking to myself, I wonder if I want to do a Dash masternode. Why? Because the price is so low right now. I mean, honestly, I think the price is at historical lows. And, you need 1,000 Dash coins to launch a masternode. And apparently it's fairly complicated. And the use case isn't bad. And it's been around since 2014, and it's been doing pretty well in terms of, use case adoption, transfers of value and different apps and things associated with it. And it's highly liquid. I mean, the Dash token is very, very liquid. Daily active addresses as of Q4 of 21 is 54,300. That has dropped quite a bit, as I will show you. But what doesn't drop? But on the flip side, Cardano seems to only grow in this bear market. So while the multitude of tokens out there are seeing their use cases falter a bit, Cardano continues to go up. So that's an interesting metric there. And now this is Masari.io that's basically showing a lot of Dash information. Trading volume right now, real trading volume around 5 million. That's actually pretty low. Time from its original all-time high is 5 years. Its current break-even multiple is 36, and I just don't see that coming back. But anything can happen, okay? Anything can happen. Its cycle low price thus far has been $33.82. So when you compare the fact that you need 1,000 Dash tokens, you multiply that by the current price, and that's about what it would cost you to launch one of these masternodes. So keep that in mind as we move forward as well. Transaction volume, 6.23 million over 24 hours. Currently at around 48,505 active addresses. So when you're talking about active, that basically means it's had some sort of transaction over the last 24-hour period, roughly. Transactions, about 11,111, which that doesn't really make sense given that if these are active addresses and there's 48,000 of them, how is like less than half of that? I would think the transactions would be much higher, but payments over a 24-hour period. Oh, okay. So 43,608 in payments. So I guess between the two, that's what's keeping these addresses active. Reddit community subscribers, 45,205, but only 330 are currently active. So to me, Dash, in my humble opinion, looks kind of like a semi-dying project, okay? And I'm not knocking Dash. I have no problems with Dash at all, which is one of the reasons why I'm doing this video, and one of the reasons why I had already created the thumbnail for this thing before I even started in the calculations and just the comparison. And this is the Cardano delegation calculator. So you have that, and then this is the Dash calculation application. So these are the things that I use to basically create what you're about to see here. So all that having been shown, let's take a look at the graphic. I'm gonna scoot up so I can zoom in on this a little bit and see it. So the cost at the time I started these calculations, the cost associated with launching the Dash masternode was $34,580. Okay. And I'm going to open this up on my end over here so that I can actually see a little bit better. So $34,580 to launch the Dash Masternode with 1,000 tokens. And in that, you could get at the current trade or at that trade price of 30 cents, $34,580 would get you about 115,266 ADA. All right. Your annual ROI on a Dash Masternode is roughly 5.63%. So the same is now the Cardano ROI will differ. It's different based off of what ultimately what staking node you're on. It's luck, a whole bunch of different variables associated with the nodes because they go up and down. Sometimes the Crow node, it can be like 5.5 to even, I think it was a 5.75 ROI. And then sometimes it's a 4.5, 4.6. You never know. It's always different. All right. Your annual reward for running a Dash Masternode is 56.28 Dash right now. So between 11/21 2022 and 11/21 2023, you'd earn about 56.28 Dash over the course of that year. In the same time frame, for the same money, you'd earn about 5,311.75 Cardano or ADA over the same time frame. So for running the Dash Masternode, your total Dash would be 1,056.28 Dash, and your total in ADA would be 120,578. Now, I calculated this all based off of the previous all-time highs because it's difficult to do that with a predictive model. What will prices be in 2 years? Okay. So I basically calculated everything based off of the original all-time high. But given where we're at and given what we've seen from both of these projects, it looks to me like Dash is much less likely to see its even previous all-time high of $465 than Cardano is at $322. And not only that, I actually believe I'm going to see somewhere in the $7 to $8 range of Cardano's ADA by the next peak in 2025 or thereabouts. Whereas I see Dash maybe hitting 225, 230. That's just a guess. I don't really know. But for the sake of argument, I just base it off of their original all-time highs or their previous all-time highs of $465 for Dash, $3.22 for Cardano. So given that, the value at the peak all-time high, investing $34,500 into a Dash Masternode could potentially yield $491,170. The same money on Cardano, if it just got back to its original or its previous all-time high, is $388,261. So, given the technology, given the idea that, Dash's use case is far more limited, in my opinion, there's just not a lot of meat on the Dash blockchain. It could be a fun project, and I think regardless, it'll likely be profitable over where it's at right now. So if somebody decided, you know what, I just really want a Dash Masternode, it goes back. I feel like I'm buying a piece of history. 2014. It's a Litecoin fork. I don't think Litecoin's going to be faring all that well. I believe that Dash is likely going to follow suit to a lot of degree. And to me, Cardano's third generation. The Cardano's technology isn't even fully completed yet. And its system by which it's developed over time with, the peer review studies and everything else associated with it, not to mention things like Hydra and a lot of these other things that are going into the blockchain, Midnight being the newest one. There's so much stuff happening that for me, I would much rather just stake my ADA. And on top of that, this doesn't calculate the costs associated with running the masternode for Dash. Because if you're having to set this up, I haven't set one up. It seems to be pretty complicated, and it's likely you're going to need some sort of server provider to run the node. Now, I could be wrong about that. Correct me if I am in the comments. If you have done this, if you're aware, I didn't do that research yet. because I wanted to find out first if it would even be worthwhile. But for me, given the Cardano lover that I am, I would personally stick with Cardano, expecting much higher highs in the next cycle than I'm going to get out of Dash. And that's really all there is to it for me. 15-minute video, very quick. But for anybody curious, these are the numbers that I've pulled up, and hopefully it helps you make a decision. And again, I'm not a financial advisor or anything. I'm just doing some research and hoping it helps you out. And, let the best project win. But ultimately, I think that's going to be Cardano. And quite frankly, I don't really see many projects in the space coming over top of Cardano by the next peak, if ever, if I'm honest. There's just too much in line and too many major milestones that are coming, and I just don't see anything competing with what Cardano is going to be offering as we continue to move forward. So on that note, to each their own. I hope the best for Dash. I don't know where it's going or what's coming or what's happening. Maybe some things could turn around for it, but as of right now, it looks semi-dying. And it is tempting because I love the Dash. I like what Dash has done over the years, but I'm going to leave my money with Cardano. Until next time, guys, grow your coins.